Rainollon here. Today is yet again another build showcase, and it's Dante. So, let us immediately start. Let's start with Dante first, and the mods. The mods I'm using on him, I'm using Growing Power, which gives you plus 25% ability strength. Preparation, you start with the mission at full maximum energy. Transient Fortitude for ability strength, lowers your duration, but I fix that with Prime Continuity, which gives you duration. Blind Range gives you a lot of strength, lowers your efficiency, but I can easily cap my efficiency, and I'm going to explain how. Streamline gives you ability efficiency, Stretch gives you range, Prime Flow gives you maximum energy, Equilibrium gives you energy economy, and Precision Intensify, which gives you plus 9% ability strength for your fort ability. So these are the mods. For the Arcanes, Arcane Impetus on unique stats effect from ability grants you plus 6% ability strength and plus 3% ability efficiency for 20 seconds. I can easily cap this, and I'm going to explain as well very soon. Arcane Precision, what this does is on a headshot, it gives you plus 300% damage for 18 seconds on secondary weapons. His first ability is an Exalted Secondary, so this is going to give his first ability a lot of increased damage. So those are the Arcanes. For the stats, Health, Shield, and Armor is completely useless on him. He's an Overguard Warframe, so he doesn't even need these stats. They can easily remove them. Nobody will care. So he's an Overguard Warframe. You're going to have like 40 to 50,000 Overguard to 60,000. It's like this just doesn't even exist for him. The maximum energy is quite high. Duration is more than enough. Range is more than enough. Efficiency is going to be capped. And strength is more than enough. So those are the stats. And I think it's time for me to explain the abilities. For his abilities, let's start with the passive. So his passive is when you use your first ability, your Exalted Secondary, and you kill enemies, you're going to scan them. When enemies are fully scanned, increases your stat chance by 50% on fully scanned enemies, which is very interesting. His first ability summons his Exalted Secondary book. His regular shots, when you shoot enemies, it will chain up to 4 other enemies, and it does like solid amount of damage. And he also does have an alt fire, which when you press the alternative fire mode button, which is the middle mouse, you're going to shoot out the Arca Plasma shot that does like solid amount of burst damage. His second ability gives yourself and allies Overguard. Overguard, what it does is a massive layer of survivability that gives you status immunity and knockback immunity. His third ability, what it does is in a 50 degrees angle, you're going to proc damage. You're going to do damage to them twice, and it has a 100% chance to proc slash on those enemies. It does destroy boxes, and it's a pretty solid ability with a lot of cast speed on low level missions. For high level missions, it does fall off, but it still like does solid amount of damage. And his fourth ability, what it does, I'm going to explain it like this. So if you press your second ability twice, and then you press your fourth ability, you're going to give yourself and allies even more Overguard, and you're going to give yourself and allies Overguard regeneration rate, which is quite powerful. If you press your third ability twice, and you press your fourth ability, you're going to do a AoE nuke that does a pretty solid amount of damage. But not only that, if you proc slash, heat, or toxin on these enemies, and then you press your AoE nuke, you're going to multiply the damage, and you're going to see some ridiculous numbers. I saw like 5 to 11 million, and it's really powerful. If you press your second ability and your third ability, and then you press your fourth ability, you will summon his Exalted book for you and your allies, and it just helps. It's a solid amount of damage it does, so yeah, it's like pretty good. And if you press your third ability and your second ability, and then you press your fourth ability, you will summon a bunch of birds. Those birds will seek out enemies, and they're going to do a little bit damage, but also proc a very powerful debuff on those enemies, which increases the status damage on those enemies, and they also get a status vulnerability on them. So you're going to see some ridiculous numbers when you start bursting them down or proccing some damage over time effects on these enemies that are affected by your birds. And that's pretty much it. I think I explained everything on his abilities parts. I think it's time for me to show you his Exalted weapon. Now for his Exalted weapon called Noctua. So let us immediately start. Let's start with the mods. The mods I'm using on his Exalted weapon, I'm using Pistol Pestilence for Toxin status chance, Frostbite, Cold and status chance. Cold and Toxin gives you Viral, Lethal Torrent for firing to multi-shot, Galvanized Diffusion for multi-shot, Planetary Cracker for critical damage, Galvanized Crosshair for critical chance while aiming, and Galvanized Shot for status chance and direct damage per status on target. these the mods. For the Exos Weapon Adaptive Slot mods, you don't need to use primed steady hands. I messed up my polarity, so I gave up. I will highly recommend for you to use one of his tome mods. There's a tome mod. What it does is when you kill enemies with your Exalted Book, it has a chance to drop a Universal Orb, and that's the polarity you should put here, and that's the mod you should use here, not steady hands. I messed up, so I gave up. And for the Arcane, Secondary Encumber. Secondary Encumber is quite good. It has multiple synergies, which I kind of like. So on a status effect, there's a 24% chance to trigger a second random status effect, which has so much synergy. And the synergy is, get on a shot for every status effect, you will do more damage. Not only that, we have Impetus. And Impetus is a unique status effect from abilities. His first ability is Exalted Weapon, which is an ability, and for every status effect that you proc with Encumber, Secondary Encumber, you get 6% ability strength and 3% ability efficiency. We can easily cap that by just shooting his Exalted Pistol, a secondary, and the cap is 78 ability strength and 39 ability efficiency. With that, we have positive efficiency with these two, which is quite good. And you just have to like restart your first ability, so you turn it off, turn it on once you reach 13 stacks of Impetus. It's quite good. It's just quite good synergy. Not only that, I also do have this mod here, Atom mod. What it does when you use your alt fire, increases your ability efficiency by 4% for 20 seconds. For each enemy hit, stacks up 15 times. 4 times 15 is 60% ability strength. So 16% ability strength plus this and this, which is 114 plus 60, that's 174, which is 1% away for having a capped efficiency. It's quite nice. So I fixed the efficiency problems entirely just by having this, and Impetus in Streamline. Quite nice, right? So that's pretty much it here. I think I'm going to explain the stats now. The fire rate on the regular shots are absolutely fine. The magazine says 10, but you have infinite ammo, which I don't know why does it say 10. It's automatic. Critical chance is good. Crit multi is average. Stash chance is good. It procs viral slash and has a good total damage. It does chain up to 4 other enemies. And the alt fire, as you can see here, that's the alt fire. The fire rate is much slower, which is fine. It has 1.4 punch through, which is solid. You can shoot it through some walls, but it does have infinite body punch through. Critical chance is good. Crit multi is good. Stash chance is good. And total damage is ridiculously high. So stat-wise, good. That's the mods, the Arcane, and I think it's time for me to show you the shards I will recommend you to go. For the shards I will highly recommend for you to go is 2 yellow cast speed shards. This is going to make all your abilities cast quicker, and maybe you can even add a third one. It's also going to help you a ton. He's a very massive caster. You're going to spend a lot of time pressing his 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, and all of that constantly. So maybe you can add another one if you want, but if you don't want to do that, the other 3 shards I will recommend for you to go is ability strength. If you think the ability duration is kind of low, you can go for ability duration, but believe me, I think like nearly 1 minute duration of all of his abilities, his second and third with your fourth combination, it's absolutely fine. You can easily recast. So that's it with the shards, and I think it's time for me to show you Dante in game. So let us immediately start. And we are finally in. I'm up against the corrupt enemies, the Void, Steel Path, of course. This is going to be quite easy with Dante. The map is called Mod. It's a survival. And yeah, as you can see, the Exalted Weapon is like eating them alive. Alt fire, boom, there you go. I hit a bunch of enemies. I can deactivate my first ability, reactivate it. So it uses less energy when it shoots. Every time you shoot, it does use energy. Let me just use my other abilities. Boom, 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 boom. Press my second, my third, boom, there we go. I got everything now. Look at this. Complete destruction. Second, fourth. Do you want to do more damage? Press my third ability twice, press my fourth ability, boom, everything dies. Boom, there you go. Yeah, you can have a ton of fun with this guy. He's a very interesting caster. You can see he has so much overguard. 67,000 overguard, no biggie. Boom, there we go. I think I capped my efficiency, so I can deactivate my first ability again, reactivate it, and now I have 175 efficiency. Second ability, fourth ability, give myself overguard. Third ability, press fourth ability, AoE. Second ability, third ability, fourth ability, give myself the book. Third ability, second ability, to give myself the birds. That's it. You just keep on repeating that. Also, if you like, or really like his exalted weapon, you don't want to use any primary, secondaries, or melee, I would highly recommend for you to go is the Furious Raid Amalgam Body Count, I think it's called. What it does, it gives you secondaries 45% fire rate, which does work on his exalted weapon. So exalted weapon will shoot faster, which is quite good. He's extremely easy to play, especially with this setup. Boom, everything's dead. Let me summon my book again. Let me summon my birds again. Recast all of this. You need cast speed on him. I was using him without cast speed at all and I just didn't like him. But the moment I added like 2 yellow shards, he became extremely fun. Look at this. Complete destruction. My overguard is still capped. Nothing is like reducing it. Maybe I have too much energy economy, I don't know. But I'm happy with this economy. Who knows what type of scenario I will be in where I don't have energy, and if I don't have energy on Dante, this Warframe doesn't work. But that's so much overguard. So much. Recast this. I think the Acolyte is here finally. Boom. Boom. Let's proc a bunch of status effects on Acolytes. I want to see how much damage can I do with the fourth ability. Okay, let's see. Not a lot. Yep, and that's the Acolyte. Recast my second ability. There we go. That was extremely easy. It's like very easy. I do have my cat with me. The cat does give me some power, but it's mostly there just to pick up energy orbs. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. You can maybe technically you can remove like Streamline, or maybe remove Equilibrium. Now, maybe you can remove Equilibrium and use a purple shard for Equilibrium. And then, instead of the Equilibrium mod, you can add like more ability strength or some sort of duration. But yeah, that's it. That's Dante. It's like extremely easy to play him. Boom. Let's do one more nuke. There you go. Alright. Time for me to extract and be right back. And that's Dante. He's good. He's still good. On release he was good. Now he's still good. He's one of the best supports. He's extremely easy to play. I will highly recommend for you to try him out. Get him. He's very fun. He's one of the better supports in this game. I hope I explained everything. And I hope you guys enjoy the build. And yet again, thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and of course, see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.